Captain Do-Yoon Park stood on the bridge of the ESS Thunderchild, his hands clasped behind his back. Through the main viewport, he watched Jupiter's swirling clouds as the massive battleship completed its final test run. The ship hummed with power around him. This was humanity's greatest achievement, their first true warship built for deep space. "Captain, all systems are operating at peak efficiency," said Chief Engineer Minho. His voice carried pride and exhaustion. For 3 years, he had worked on this ship, making sure every bolt and circuit was perfect. Do-Hyun nodded. "Thank you. Chief, how is the void drive performing?" "Better than expected, sir. The energy containment is stable at 98.7%. Lieutenant Gina Kim looked up from her tactical station. "Sir, Admiral Han is requesting an update." Do-Hyun sighed. Admiral Han had never supported the Thunderchild project. He thought it was too risky, too advanced. "Tell him tests are proceeding, as planned. We'll return to Earth orbit in 12 hours. The truth was, Earth needed this ship. 50 years ago, humans had learned they were not alone in the galaxy. The first contact had been humiliating. The aliens, a coalition called the Galactic Concord, had treated humans like children. They called Earth a developing world and limited what technology they would share. "Primitive species cannot be trusted with advanced weapons," the alien ambassadors had said. They allowed humans to establish a few small colonies in nearby star systems, but nothing more. All the while, Earth had been working in secret, studying, building, preparing. "Captain," called out Communications Officer Jae-won, his voice suddenly tense. "We're receiving an emergency signal from Korea Colony on Proxima B." Do-Hyun's heart raced. Korea Colony was Earth's first and largest off-world settlement. "Put it through." The main screen flickered to life. A woman with a bloodied face appeared. Behind her, people ran in panic as ceiling panels fell around them. "This is Governor Yuna of Korea Colony. We are under attack by Sylvan Dominion warships. They came without warning. Our defenses are failing. We need immediate assistance or the colony will fall within hours." The transmission cut off abruptly. Lieutenant Gina's fingers flew across her console. "Sylvan ships confirmed at Proxima Centauri. At least 3 large vessels." "The Sylvan?" Do-Hyun asked, his face darkening. "They're barely mid-tier in the galactic power rankings. They're attacking us because they think we're easy targets." "Orders, sir?" asked First Officer Sun Woo. Do-Hyun looked around the bridge at his crew. "How long would it take to reach Proxima Centauri with conventional drives?" 4 years, 3 months, sir," Jae-won replied. "And with the void drive?" Chief Engineer Minho hesitated. "It's not fully tested for that distance, sir, but theoretically about 8 minutes. A heavy silence fell over the bridge. The void drive was Earth's greatest secret. No alien species knew humans had developed such technology. The ability to tear holes in space-time itself was something the Galactic Concord believed was centuries beyond human capability. "Sir," said Gina quietly. "Admiral Han's orders were clear. We are not to engage the void drive outside our solar system until the full fleet is ready." "And when will that be, Lieutenant?" 6 months minimum." Do-Hyun walked to the center of the bridge. "Korea Colony doesn't have 6 months. It doesn't even have 6 hours." He turned to face his crew. "I understand the risks. I also understand our duty. We are Earth's shield now." He sat in the captain's chair and pressed the ship-wide communication button. "All hands, this is the captain. Secure all stations 4E. Void jump. This is not a drill." Alarms sounded throughout the ship as crew members rushed to their positions. On the bridge, safety harnesses snapped into place. "Sir," said Chief Minho, "if we do this, every species in the galaxy will know what we're capable of. Earth has been keeping this technology secret for a reason." "I know," Do-Hyun replied, "but what good is having the most advanced ship in human history if we let our people die while it sits in testing?" He looked at his tactical officer. "Lieutenant Gina, plot a void jump to Proxima Centauri. Aim for high orbit above the colony." She hesitated for only a moment before her fingers began moving across her console. "Course plotted, sir." "Engineering, Prepare the void drive. Void drive powering up, Minho reported. Containment fields at maximum. Tearing sequence initialized. Outside the ship, space began to distort. The stars seemed to bend as reality itself warped around the Thunderchild. A swirling darkness formed in front of the vessel. Not the friendly, black of normal space, but an absence. A nothingness that hurt the eyes to look at. All stations report ready, Captain, First Officer Sunwoo announced. Do-Yun gripped the arms of his chair. Earth had hidden for 50 years, pretending to be the weak, primitive species the aliens thought they were. That deception was about to end. Void jump in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The darkness swallowed the ship. For a terrible moment, the crew felt as if they were everywhere and nowhere at once. Some would later describe hearing voices, or seeing impossible shapes in that brief journey. Then, with a soundless flash, the ESS Thunderchild tore back into normal space directly above Proxima b. The planet filled the view screen, blue and green like Earth, but with different continents. And orbiting above it were 3 alien vessels, sleek and predatory, firing energy weapons at the colony below. "We've arrived," Jaewon whispered. "Tactical assessment," Do-Yun ordered. Gina studied her readings. 3 Sylvan battlecruisers. There, shields are down, they weren't expecting any resistance. Colony defenses are at 12% and failing. "They haven't detected us yet," Minho added. "Our stealth systems are holding." Do-Yun stood, his face resolute. "The Sylvan Dominion came here expecting to find helpless humans. It's time they learned how wrong they are." He pointed at the lead alien ship. "Weapons Officer Hyuk. Target. The main battle cruiser. Prepare the gravitational lance." "Sir," Hyuk replied, his voice steady as he activated the ship's primary weapon. "Gravitational lance charged and ready." "All crew, battle stations," Do-Yun commanded. "Let's show the galaxy what happens when they threaten Earth." The Thunderchild's stealth field dropped, and for the first time the alien saw the massive human warship that had appeared from nowhere. Panic erupted on the Sylvan communication channels. "Fire," Do-Yun ordered. The lance fired, not a beam of energy, but a concentrated stream of warped space-time that twisted everything in its path. It struck the alien vessel amidships. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then the Sylvan ship simply split, cut in half as cleanly as if by a giant knife, the 2 pieces drifting apart as atmosphere and aliens spilled into the void. The galaxy would never be the same again. Silence filled the bridge of the ESS Thunderchild as the crew watched the Sylvan battlecruiser break apart. No one had expected the gravitational lance to be so effective. Even Chief Engineer Minho looked shocked at what their weapon had done. "Target destroyed, Captain," Weapons Officer Hyuk finally said, his voice barely above a whisper. The remaining 2 Sylvan ships stopped their attack on the colony. For several seconds they didn't move at all, as if their crews couldn't believe what they were seeing. "They're scanning us," Lieutenant Gina reported. "They're trying to figure out what kind of ship we are." Captain Do-Hyun stood tall. "Open a channel, let's introduce ourselves." Communications Officer Jaewon tapped his console. "Channel open, sir." "Attention Sylvan vessels," Do-Yun said firmly. "This is Captain Do-Yun Park of the Earth spaceship Thunderchild. You have attacked a human colony without provocation. Withdraw immediately or face destruction." The main screen flickered, and an alien face appeared. The Sylvan had gray skin with purple markings and 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern. This one wore an ornate uniform with glowing symbols on the shoulders. "I am Commander Zeltheric of the Sylvan Dominion," the alien said. Its translator made the voice sound metallic. "What trickery is this? Humans do not possess void jump technology or gravitational weapons. As you can see, Commander, your information is outdated," Do-Yun replied coolly. "Now withdraw your forces." The Sylvan commander's upper eyes narrowed. "Impossible. The Galactic Concord assured us humans were primitive. Your ships require years to travel between stars." "That was yesterday," Do-Hyun said. "Today is different." Before the Sylvan could respond, alarms sounded on the Thunderchild's bridge. "Captain," Gina called out. "They're charging weapons and raising shields." And they've sent a subspace message, Jaewon added. They're calling for reinforcements. Do-hyun ended the transmission. How many ships are they calling? At least 5. More battlecruisers, Jaewon answered after checking his readings. Estimated arrival time 3 hours. First Officer Sunwoo turned to Do-hyun. Sir, we should contact Earth for instructions. A message to Earth would take 4 hours to arrive, Do-hyun reminded him. And Admiral Han would order us to retreat. He looked at the tactical display. The colony is still in danger, we stay. Do-hyun turned to Lieutenant Gina. Tactical options? Gina studied her console. The Sylvan ships are spreading out to flank us. Their shields are now at full power. She paused, thinking. Captain, these aliens think we're primitive. They don't know what we can really do. We can use that. Go on. If we shut down our main power and drift, they might think our weapon drained our systems. When they move in for the kill, we power up and hit them when they're close. Do-hyun nodded appreciatively. Make it so. All hands, prepare for silent running. The Thunderchild's lights dimmed as power was diverted from non-essential systems. The ship began to drift, appearing dead in space. They're taking the bait, Gina whispered, as the Sylvan ships cautiously approached. They're moving to capture positions. Wait for it, Do-hyun said quietly. Wait. When the lead Sylvan ship was just 5 kilometers away, Do-hyun gave the command. Now! The Thunderchild roared back to life. Thrusters fired, spinning the massive vessel 180 degrees. Before the Sylvan ships could react, the gravitational lance fired again, slicing through the nearest ship's engine section. Hard to port, Do-hyun ordered, as the second Sylvan vessel fired energy weapons that blazed past the Thunderchild's hull. Minor damage to outer armor, reported Minho. All systems still functional. Lock conventional missiles on the second target, Do-hyun commanded. Fire when ready. A swarm of 20 missiles launched from the Thunderchild, each one tracking the Sylvan ship as it tried to escape. The alien vessel's defenses stopped most of them, but 3 broke through, exploding against its hull. Their shields are down, Gina announced. They're venting atmosphere on 3 decks. The ship-to-ship channel activated again. This time, Commander Zeltharic looked afraid. Cease fire, the Sylvan commander pleaded. We surrender. Secure the colony first, Do-hyun replied coldly. Recall all your ground forces. While the Sylvan commander issued retreat orders, Do-hyun had Jaewon contact the colony. Governor Yuna's face appeared on screen, looking battered, but relieved. Captain Park, your arrival saved us, she said. But how did you get here so quickly? We have much to discuss, Governor, Do-hyun replied. Is your landing pad still operational? I'll bring a team down. An hour later, Do-hyun, Gina, and Minho walked through the damaged colony halls, escorted by Security Chief Junho. The colony's main building was partly destroyed, with walls cracked and ceilings fallen in. Medical teams worked to help the injured. 53. Dead, over 200 wounded, Junho reported grimly. If you had been even 10 minutes later. Why did they attack you? Gina asked. The Sylvan have never shown interest in human territory before. Junho led them to a secure door at the end of a hallway. They came for what we found. Dr. Suman was the first to discover it. The door opened to reveal a laboratory. Inside, a woman in a white coat was studying something on a table. She looked up as they entered. Captain Park, Dr. Suman said with a tired smile. Your ship is the talk of the colony, and probably the entire galaxy by now. What did you find, Doctor? Do-hyun asked. She gestured to the table. On it lay what looked like a metal cube covered in strange symbols. It glowed with a soft blue light. 3 months ago, our mining team found this buried 2 kilometers beneath the surface, Suman explained. It's not Sylvan technology. It's not technology from any known species. Based on the soil samples around it, it's been here for at least 2 million years. Minho leaned closer to examine the cube without touching it. Have you determined its purpose? It's some kind of data storage device, Suman replied. We've only decoded a fraction of its contents, but what we found... She paused, looking at each of them. It contains star maps, equations, and what appears to be blueprints for technology far beyond anything the Galactic Concord possesses. How did the Sylvan know about it? Gina asked. We don't know, Junho said. But a week after, we found it. Their ships arrived. Do-hyun's communication device beeped. He answered to hear Jae-won's urgent voice. Captain, we're receiving a priority message from Earth. Admiral Han is demanding to speak with you immediately. Tell him I'll respond shortly, Do-hyun replied. There's more, sir, Jae-won continued. Long-range sensors are detecting multiple void disturbances. Large ships are jumping into the system. The Sylvan reinforcements? Do-hyun asked, already moving toward the exit. No, sir, Jae-won said. They're Earth ships. The entire fleet has arrived. Do-hyun stopped in surprise. That's impossible. The fleet wasn't scheduled to launch for 6 months. Sir, Jae-won's voice grew even more serious. The lead ship is the ESS Dauntless, Admiral Han's flagship. And sir, the Galactic Concord has also sent representatives. A diplomatic vessel, just arrived through conventional space. They're demanding an explanation for what they're calling humanity's deception. Do-hyun looked at the ancient cube, then at his officers. It seems the galaxy has noticed us, he said quietly. And nothing will ever be the same again. The meeting room aboard the ESS Dauntless hummed with tension. Captain Do-hyun Park sat at one end of the long table, facing Admiral Tae-jo Han at the other. Between them sat representatives from Earth's government and military. You disobeyed direct orders, Captain, Admiral Han said, his voice tight with anger. The void drive was not cleared for use outside our solar system. With respect, Admiral, Do-hyun replied calmly. Korea colony was under attack. If we had waited, thousands would have died. And now the entire galaxy knows our capabilities. Han slammed his fist on the table. 50 years of secrecy. Gone. Ambassador Ji-woo Yoon, Earth's representative to the Galactic Concord, raised her hand. Unlike the military officers, she wore civilian clothes, a simple blue suit with Earth's new emblem. What's done is done, she said. The question now is how we handle what comes next. The Concord representatives are waiting on their ship. They've demanded answers. Let them wait, said Grand Admiral Hyun-woo Choi, commander of Earth's fleet. He was older than the others, with gray hair and a face lined with experience. They've looked down on us for 50 years. Now they can experience what that feels like. The door opened, and Lieutenant Gina entered. Excuse me, Admiral Han. The Sylvan reinforcements have arrived. 7 battle cruisers just exited normal space. Admiral, Han frowned. Have they made any aggressive moves? No, sir. They're holding position at the edge of the system, but they're being very careful to stay away from our fleet. Do-hyun couldn't help but smile slightly. The sight of 15 Earth battleships, all built in secret, and each equipped with void drives and gravitational lances, had clearly shocked the Sylvan. Our fleet has them outgunned, Grand Admiral Choi noted with satisfaction. Now they know how the colony felt. Ambassador Ji-woo stood. I need to speak with the Concord representatives. It's time to show our full hand. She looked at Do-hyun. Captain Park, I want you with me. Your actions started this, and your first-hand account will be valuable. An hour later, Do-hyun found himself aboard the Concord diplomatic vessel. It was designed to accommodate many different species, with varying gravity levels and atmosphere types in different sections. In the main chamber, Ambassador Ji-woo faced the Concord delegation. 5 different alien species were represented, led by Elders Teth, a being that resembled a tall, thin humanoid with iridescent skin that shifted colors with its moods. Currently, its skin pulsed with angry reds and oranges. Ambassador Yoon, the elder began, its translator converting the clicks and whistles of its native language. Humanity has violated Concord protocols. You have developed restricted technologies and concealed your true capabilities. This deception cannot go unpunished. Ji-woo stood tall despite being half the height of the elder. With respect, Elders Teth, humanity signed no treaties restricting our technological development. The Concord offered us protection and guidance, but never equal status. We chose our own path. A dangerous path, hissed one of the other, Representatives, a reptilian being. Void drive technology and gravitational weapons are not toys for young species. Yet you use these technologies yourselves, Jiwoo countered. Why should humans not have the same capabilities? Because you are aggressive and unpredictable, the reptilian shot back. This incident proves it. Do-hyun stepped forward. The only aggression was from the Sylvan Dominion, attacking our colony without provocation. The elder's skin shifted to a deep blue. The Sylvan claimed they were responding to a treaty violation. They say the human colony was excavating restricted technology. Jiwoo's eyes narrowed. What treaty gave the Sylvan the right to enforce anything in human space? And what makes ancient technology restricted? A new voice spoke from the chamber entrance. An excellent question. Everyone turned to see Dr. Suman enter, carrying a datapad. Grand Admiral Choi accompanied her. This is Dr. Suman Kang, lead scientist at Korea Colony. Jiwoo introduced her. And Grand Admiral Hyunwoo Choi, commander of Earth's fleet. Suman approached the central display table. May I? Without waiting for permission, she placed her datapad on the table. Holographic images appeared above it, the strange symbols from the alien cube. What we found on Proxima b is over 2 million years old, Suman explained. It predates the Concord by 1 million years, according to your own historical records. The elder's skin paled to white. The architect script? Yes, Suman said. And our scientists were able to decode parts of it, something your experts have failed to do for centuries. The room fell silent. The aliens looked at each other, their body language showing clear distress. Grand Admiral Choi spoke into the silence. Earth has built a fleet of 16 advanced warships. Each one carries void drive technology and gravitational weapons. We hid our capabilities because the Conquered made it clear we would not be treated as equals. He touched a control on his wrist, and the holographic display changed to show the positions of Earth's ships throughout the Proxima Centauri system. We are not seeking conflict, Choi continued, but we will defend our people and our territory. The attack on Korea Colony was unacceptable. The elder's skin slowly shifted to a deep purple. This changes the balance of power significantly. That's the point, Jiwoo said. Earth demands full membership in the Galactic Concord, with all rights and privileges. No more developing world status, the reptilian hissed in protest. Outrageous. You cannot threaten your way into— It is not a threat, Jiwoo interrupted. It is a statement of fact. Humanity will no longer accept second-class status. The negotiations continued for hours. When they finally returned to the Dauntless, Do-hyun was exhausted. He found Lieutenant Gina waiting for him in the shuttle bay. How did it go? She asked. The Concorde is frightened, Do-hyun replied. And the Sylvan have agreed to pay reparations for the attack. Will there be war? Do-hyun shook his head. I don't think so. Not yet, at least. The Concord needs time to adjust to the new reality. And frankly, so do we. Gina nodded toward a nearby viewport, where Earth's fleet could be seen in formation. I never imagined I'd see this. All these ships, built in secret. Admiral Choi revealed that there are more under construction, Do-hyun said. Earth has been preparing for decades. Their conversation was interrupted by an urgent call from the bridge. Captain Park, Lieutenant Kim, please report to Admiral Han immediately. They rushed to the command center, where they found Admiral Han, Grand Admiral Choi, and Dr. Suman gathered around a display. What's happening? Do-hyun asked. Dr. Suman looked up, her face pale. We've finished translating more of the architect data. Captain, it contains genetic information. Human genetic information. What do you mean? Gina asked. The architects didn't just leave technology behind, Suman explained. They left messages. And according to these messages, humans weren't just discovered by the galactic community. She paused, meeting Do-hyun's eyes. We were hidden from it. Intentionally. Admiral Han looked grim. And there's more. The Concorde just sent an emergency transmission. More ships are coming. A coalition of species who want to destroy the architect artifact. And possibly us along with it. Outside the viewport, the void rippled as new ships began to arrive. The true test of humanity was just beginning. The skies above Proxima B filled with ships. 3 days had passed since Captain Do-Hyun Park and the Thunderchild had revealed Earth's true power to the galaxy. Now, 27 alien vessels from 7 different species orbited the planet, keeping a careful distance from Earth's fleet. Inside the underground research facility at Korea Colony, Do-Hyun watched as Professor Yoon-ha Shin carefully examined the architect cube. Unlike Dr. Suman, who specialized in the practical application of alien technology, Professor Yoon-ha was a xenoarchaeologist, an expert in ancient alien civilizations. The architects, Yoon-ha said, her voice filled with wonder. For centuries, they were considered a myth. Most evidence of their existence was dismissed as exaggerations or misidentified technology from other species. She looked up at Do-Hyun. Yet, here we are, holding proof they were real. And apparently, they had a special interest in humans, Do-Hyun added. Lieutenant Gina entered the lab, followed by Dr. Suman. Captain, we've analyzed more of the data. It's incredible. Show me, Do-Hyun said. Suman activated a holographic display. Complex DNA strands appeared, spinning slowly in the air. This is standard human DNA, she explained, pointing to certain sections. But look here and here. These sequences don't appear in any other Earth species. They're artificial. Artificial? Do-Hyun asked, frowning. Engineered, Yuna clarified. The architects didn't just find humanity. They helped create us, or at least, they modified our ancient ancestors. Before Do-Hyun could respond, a new voice spoke from the doorway. Captain Park, it's been a long time. Do-Hyun turned to see Commander Junho Kim, his former mentor and rival from the academy. Junho wore the uniform of Earth Special Forces, with the insignia of a covert operations unit. Commander Kim, Do-Hyun said stiffly. I wasn't aware you were assigned to this mission. I arrived with the Second Fleet, Junho replied. Admiral Han asked me to oversee security for the artifact. He looked at the cube with narrowed eyes. Considering half the galaxy wants to destroy it, we need our best people here. Their conversation was interrupted by an alarm. Red lights flashed throughout the facility. What's happening? Do-Hyun asked, reaching for his communication device. Perimeter. Breach, a security officer's voice answered. Multiple hostiles approaching from the East Ridge. They've somehow bypassed our detection systems. Junho was already moving toward the exit. Captain, help me secure the artifact. We need to move it to the backup facility. No, Professor Yoon-ha said firmly. We can't move it yet. We're in the middle of a critical decoding sequence. If we interrupt it now, we might lose everything. Do-Hyun made a quick decision. Gina, stay with Professor Yoon-ha and Dr. Suman. Help them complete their work. Commander Kim and I will deal with the intruders. Outside, chaos had erupted. A strike team of aliens, a mix of species Do-Hyun didn't recognize, had breached the colony's outer defenses. They wore advanced stealth armor that partly concealed their bodies from sensors. They're heading for the research center, Junho said as they took cover behind a damaged wall. He handed Do-Hyun a pulse rifle. We can't let them reach the artifact. For the next 20 minutes, they fought a running battle through the colony streets. Earth security forces gradually pushed the intruders back, but they were skilled and determined. Who are they? Do-Hyun asked as he and Junho moved forward. An extremist faction, Junho replied. They call themselves the Purifiers. They believe the architect's technology should remain buried. They reached a clearing where 3 of the aliens were trapped, surrounded by Earth forces. As the aliens realized their position, one of them activated a device on his wrist. Explosive, Junho shouted, pushing Do-Hyun down behind a barrier. The blast shook the ground, sending debris flying. When Do-Hyun looked up, the aliens were gone, either escaped or dead. Captain, Gina's voice came through his communicator. You need to get back here immediately. Something's happening with the cube. When they returned to the lab, Do-Hyun found it bathed in blue light. The architect cube had opened like a flower, its sides unfolding to reveal a glowing core. What did you do? Junho demanded. We completed the decoding sequence, Suman explained, her eyes wide with excitement. The cube recognized our human DNA and activated. As they watched, the light concentrated into a beam that projected a holographic figure in the center of the room. It resembled a tall, slender humanoid with 4 arms and an elongated head. Its body seemed to be made of light itself. "Greetings, children of our legacy," the figure said in perfect, unaccented human language. "I am the Void Walker, guardian of knowledge, created by those you call the architects." Do-hyun stepped forward. "What are you?" "I am an artificial intelligence construct, created to preserve the knowledge of my makers and to guide their successors when the time was right." The figure's eyes, glowing points of light, seemed to examine each human in turn. "That time is now." "Why did the architects modify human DNA?" Yunha asked. "The architects did not merely modify your ancestors," the Voidwalker replied. "They uplifted them, guided their evolution, and encoded within them the potential to one day become their successors." "Why?" Do-hyun pressed. "Because the architects knew they were dying. A great plague spread through their civilization, caused by their experiments with the void between realities. They could not save themselves, but they could create a new species to inherit their knowledge." The Voidwalker raised its hands, and the room filled with star maps and diagrams of advanced technology. The architects seeded many worlds with potential, but Earth showed the most promise. They placed you in an isolated region of the galaxy, protected from interference until you were ready. "Protected by what?" Junho asked suspiciously. "By me and others like me," the Voidwalker answered. "We have shaped events in subtle ways for millennia, ensuring humanity would develop independently." "And now?" Do-hyun asked. "Now you have proven yourselves worthy." The void drive you created mirrors architect technology, though in simpler form. The genetic markers in your DNA have activated. You are ready to receive the full legacy. Suddenly the facility shook violently. Dust fell from the ceiling as warning alarms blared again. "Orbital bombardment," security reported over the comms. "Multiple ships are firing on our position." Outside, through the small observation window, Do-hyun could see energy beams striking the colony's shields. "The purifiers," Junho growled. "They've brought reinforcements. And not just them," Gina added, checking her tactical display. "Several conquered species have joined the attack. They're saying the architect technology is too dangerous to exist." The Voidwalker's light flickered. "I must transfer the architect database to a secure location. The knowledge must be preserved." "Transfer it where?" Do-hyun asked. "To your vessel," the construct replied. "The one you call Thunderchild. Its systems are compatible." Junho stepped between Do-hyun and the Voidwalker. "That's classified technology. We can't allow an alien AI access to our flagship." Another blast rocked the facility, stronger than before. Part of the ceiling collapsed in the corner of the lab. "The shields are failing," Suman reported. "We have minutes at most." Do-hyun looked at the Voidwalker, then at the attacking ships visible through the window. The future of humanity might depend on his next decision. "Transfer the data," he ordered. "Lieutenant Gina, contact the Thunderchild. Tell them to prepare for immediate download." As the Voidwalker began the transfer, Do-hyun turned to face Commander Kim. "I know we've had our differences, Junho," he said quietly. "But right now we need to work together. The galaxy fears what we might become with this knowledge. We need to show them they're wrong to fear us." Above them, Earth's fleet moved to engage the attackers, while on the surface, the race to save the architect's legacy had begun. The sky above Proxima B blazed with weapons fire. Earth's fleet engaged the coalition forces that sought to destroy the colony and the architect artifact. The ESS Thunderchild, now carrying the complete architect database, moved into position to defend the planet. On the bridge, Captain Do-hyun Park watched the tactical display with growing concern. Despite Earth's advanced technology, they were outnumbered 3-1. "Status report," he ordered. "Shields at 60%, Chief Engineer Minho reported. "The gravitational lance is fully charged, but we can only fire it 3 more times, before we risk a core overload." Lieutenant Gina studied her console. 23 enemy ships have formed attack formations. They're coordinating their efforts now. Do-Yun turned as the lift doors opened. Professor Eun-Hwa Shin and Dr. Sumin entered, followed by Commander Junho. They had barely escaped the colony before the shields failed completely. The Voidwalker? Do-Yun asked. Its physical form was destroyed, Sumin replied, but its consciousness transferred with the data. It's now integrated with our computer systems. As if on cue, a holographic figure appeared beside them. The Voidwalker, now smaller and less detailed than before. Captain Park, it said, I have analyzed your ship's systems. With modifications, you could defeat the attacking fleet. What kind of modifications? Minho asked suspiciously. Your void drive is primitive compared to architect technology, the Voidwalker explained. I can show you how to enhance it, creating a localized void field that would disable enemy weapons. Junho stepped forward. And what do you get from helping us? I was created to preserve the architect's legacy, the AI replied simply. You are that legacy. The ship rocked as enemy fire struck their shields. Alarms blared across the bridge. Shields at 40%, Minho called out. Do-Yun made his decision. Show us. Under the Voidwalker's guidance, Minho and his engineering team worked rapidly to modify the void drive. Meanwhile, Do-Hyun received a transmission from Earth. Director Ji-hye Kang, head of Earth's new Interstellar Relations Bureau, appeared on screen. Captain Park, she said, her face grim. The situation has escalated. The Galactic Concord has officially labeled humanity as a rogue species. They're claiming the architect technology gives us an unfair advantage. They're afraid of what we might become, Do-Hyun replied. Yes, Director Ji-hye agreed, but fear leads to dangerous decisions. Fleet Admiral Min-seo Park has authorized full defensive measures. Do-Hyun felt a jolt of surprise. Fleet Admiral Park? My mother? Yes. She's been leading the secret fleet program for 20 years. She always knew this day would come. Director Ji-hye's expression softened slightly. She says to tell you she's proud of you and to remember what she taught you. Power without wisdom is a flame that burns its wielder. The transmission ended as another blast struck the ship. Do-Hyun steadied himself against his chair. Captain, Minho called from engineering. The modifications are complete. We're ready to activate the enhanced void field. Do it, Do-Hyun ordered. The ship hummed as the modified drive engaged. A wave of energy expanded outward from the Thunderchild, washing over the nearby enemy vessels. Their weapons went dark, and their shields flickered and died. It worked, Gina exclaimed. Their systems are offline, but the victory was short-lived. More coalition ships moved in, staying just beyond the void field's range. We can't expand the field further without burning out the drive, Minho warned. The Voidwalker's hologram flickered as it processed the situation. There is another option. The architect database contains designs for a communication device that could reach all ships simultaneously. You could speak directly to every being in this system. To what end? Junho asked. They won't listen to us. Perhaps they will, Do-Hyun said quietly. If we show them what the architects truly intended, with Sumin and Yuna's help, they quickly built the device using components from the ship's communication array. As the battle raged around them, Do-Hyun prepared to address the coalition forces. All ships, this is Captain Do-Hyun Park of the ESS Thunderchild. I am broadcasting on all frequencies and in all known languages, across every vessel in the system. View screens activated showing Do-Hyun's face. You fear what humanity might become with the architect's knowledge. You believe we will use it to dominate the galaxy, but that was never their intention, nor is it ours. He gestured, and the Voidwalker projected images from the database, stars being born, civilizations rising and falling, and finally, the architects themselves succumbing to a terrible plague. The architects didn't create us as conquerors. They created us as caretakers. They saw in humanity the potential for both great strength and great compassion. The Voidwalker spoke then, its voice reaching every ship. The architects seeded many worlds, but Earth was special. Human DNA contains specific sequences that enable them to understand and use our technology without the corruption that destroyed my creators. Do-hyun continued. We don't want war. We want to share this knowledge for the benefit of all species. He looked directly into the camera. Power without wisdom is a flame that burns its wielder. We choose wisdom. For several tense moments, nothing happened. Then, one by one, the coalition ships powered down their weapons. A transmission came through from the lead conquered vessel. Elder Zizteth appeared on screen, its skin now a thoughtful blue. Captain Park, it said, your words have given us pause. Perhaps we have been hasty in our judgment. Then let us start anew, Do-hyun replied. Not as rulers and subjects, but as equals. In the days that followed, representatives from Earth and the various galactic powers met aboard the Thunderchild. Director Ji-hye led the negotiations, with Professor Yoon-ha and Dr. Suman explaining the architect technology. A new agreement was reached. Earth would share the non-military aspects of the architect database with all species, while a joint commission would oversee the more powerful technologies to ensure they weren't misused. 1 month later, Do-hyun stood on the observation deck of the newly constructed Architect Research Station orbiting Proxima b. Beside him, Fleet Admiral Min-seo Park, his mother, looked out at the stars. When I began the secret fleet program, she said, I never imagined it would end like this. With peace instead of war? Do-hyun asked. With humanity finding its place in the galaxy, she smiled at her son. The Thunderchild was named for an old story, a human vessel that fought against overwhelming odds. I remember. It didn't end well for the ship in that story. No, but this isn't that story. She gestured to where Earth and alien scientists worked side by side. This is something new, the beginning of a true galactic community. As they watched, a new ship emerged from Earth's first official void gate. It was larger than the Thunderchild, with sleek lines that blended human and architect design. The ESS Harmony, Min-seo said. The first of our exploration vessels. And you'll be her captain. Do-hyun looked at his mother in surprise. Me? But I thought that you'd be punished for disobeying orders, she laughed. Sometimes disobedience is exactly what's needed. The architects chose humans because we question, we challenge, we adapt. Lieutenant Gina approached them, now wearing the insignia of a full commander. Captain, the crew is assembled and ready for your inspection. As Do-hyun prepared to board his new ship, he took one last look at the stars. Somewhere out there, beyond the edge of known space, lay new mysteries to solve, and perhaps answers to the architect's final question: what had really caused their extinction, and whether it might someday threaten their successors. But those were concerns for tomorrow. Today, humanity had found its place among the stars, not through conquest but through courage, compassion, and understanding. The galaxy no longer cowered in horror at Earth's battleship. Instead, it watched with interest as humanity took its first true steps into a larger universe.